So in the previous video, I've talked about OpenBB terminal. OpenBB is a very popular software inspired by the Bloomberg terminal's open source replacement. OpenBB presents itself as a Bloomberg replacement or a terminal that can help you analyze visualize data. Now, I looked at it some time back, and if you're not familiar with what the tool does, please look at the previous video. I've put the link in the description, and also it should be coming up somewhere up. Now, what they have introduced is this functionality, which you see on the right hand side of the screen, which is literally OpenBB Copilot. It is an AI powered assistant. And that's what I'm going to look at in this video. So I've just logged in and I'm in the terminal itself. Now, the way you see the screen, I'll also share that. So when you start, you have these, dashboards on the side. And if you're using the terminal, you will probably already be aware about different sort of dashboards that it provides. You can have an analyst dashboard, world economics, but for this conversation, I'm going to worry about the equity dashboard and just talk through it. So for simplicity, I've taken something like Amazon. You can actually select different data sources, different tickers, like you can even select HDFC, but the challenge is not a lot of data is available. And for demonstration of this capability, it would be good to have this data. If there's demand, if you want to understand how to connect specific data sources into OpenBB, I'll make another video on it. The previous video, in case again you have not watched, please look at it. It's a complete walkthrough of what the platform does. So in about 10 minutes, you can quickly learn that out. So to begin with, this view has financials, technicals, ownership, all of the different information present or that is required. You can basically make anything bigger. You can just, drag, drop, and, organize things around. That's just standard workflow. You can go here, you can change the views and all of that. This is how you get the AI Copilot. On the right hand side, like every other tool, so you have something here and you can just ask it a question. What is this page showing me? And you'll probably think of a answer and something like that. Additionally, what you also have in this tool is basically there are different pieces and you can associate the plus icon. You can actually select that widget, that window, for example, price performance, and I can click on the plus. So it will take the context as price performance, or you can remove it and it will remove it from here. Maybe I don't want to see price performance, I want to go in the news. So I'll select the news and ask it a very generic question. What is the investor sentiment based on news for the past 2 weeks? Just a random question to talk about what and how do you interpret the sentiment of it. So what it is doing is it's actually looking and categorically telling me about the whole, whether there are positive sentiments or negative sentiments. It's talking about that Amazon is facing challenges as shutting down some bricks and mortars and some Q3 earnings are changing. And also visually, if you see, right, it's actually highlighting this specific piece of area to able to, just quickly zoom there, which is kind of a nice feature. Now let's not look at this, or I want to just look at, key matrices and shares, and you can select multiple of them. So now tell me, how is the future outlook for Amazon keeping 1 year window? So this is now going to be a more, previously the analysis was more news driven. So you can see it's telling you sentiments, it's giving you positive and negative. But now I've given it statistics, I've given it fundamental numbers. So I am hoping for an answer which is more numerical. And as you see, that's what it shows. And visually, it also showcases you that these two are the context areas that we're talking about. All right. So this is quite nice. It is also showing certain projections. It's doing some analysis. And you can also go and look at different reasoning it has. So in the previous example, it wasn't like it was just the data was based from the context. They haven't done a lot of analysis per se. But here, if you think about AI agents and all that, and what they have done is they have shown you step by step reasoning, which is how they have accessed the data and they have captured the query context. They have, had some intermediate results and all that. So basically, all the information that they have done, they have looked at it. Also, intermediate result artifact, like they are looking at EBITDA average, net income average, etc. So, a lot of calculation or so called thinking has gone under the hood. So this is again great information. You can actually add this outcome as well as a widget to the dashboard, and when you click on it, it probably goes somewhere as a widget. I don't know where it goes, but it goes somewhere. Yeah, so that's the second piece of information. Now if you go into a different tab altogether, again you can add that whole tag as a context and remove some other one. So now it has the financial statements as the context. So you can say summarize the financial statement for me. So this is again a kind of analysis that we do frequently, right? But and you can literally teach it how to treat financial statements. If you have a certain way of working with financial statements, you can actually put that back into the LLM, and it shows you all of these measures. You can ask for this specific kind of matrices, and you can go beyond what it is already telling you as default numbers. So these are some very, very interesting capabilities baked into a terminal, and the AI agents are all around. Now, a shameless plug, I talk a lot about AI, so please hit the smash button if you're interested in learning about that content, specifically from a trading and investment perspective. Join the WhatsApp community. It's 100% free. If you want to engage in meaningful conversations, it's completely media free. There's no spam or anything. We try to moderate it as much as we can. And then there's also a membership tier which is paid, which gives you access to all the premium Discord members, channels, and all the code base that I've created over the years. Yeah, and finally, I'm also working on building a small course which is AI agents and how can you use them to do this kind of analysis, like in an automated way without even needing tools like this. And the details of that will be posted in Discord and WhatsApp channels and whatnot. Right. Coming back to it, so there are, I'm sure there are certain limitations of this Copilot. You have couple of options to improve this quality. Right now, they are probably it's unclear as to what Copilot this is, which is to say what LLM this uses under the hood. But what you can do actually is if you put your like OpenAI API key, you can leverage OpenAI capabilities to answer all of these questions. So that can happen. If you want to use Perplexity to enable @web tool, which is basically it will go and query web as well apart from the information that you have present in OpenBB, that will also be cool. So you can extend this beyond this. And if you are a further advanced user, you can actually add an external copilot, and you can put the URL for that copilot completely here. And they have a very well documented process of how can you bring your own Copilot here. They have a sample code present around for it. All of this is available. And why would you want to have your own Copilot? Just to make sure that we talk about it. Let's say you have some proprietary data integrations which you don't want to connect to OpenBB terminal and things like that. So it's like a custom integration of the data source to the, and you want to have a local LLM or a specific LLM, or you want a copilot that is kind of completely self-hosted or lockdown environment and the data doesn't leave your network, all of that. So you can customize and tune or basically tailor the OpenBB environment to meet all of that. And beyond that, depending on the kind of workspace you go to, for example, if you go to analyst workspace, you can even ask questions in different workspaces. There's no limitations on the kind of context you can pass to the copilot. And yeah, so for example, I want to go and look at analyst price targets, right? Which analyst has the most confidence? So you can always see the number like directly, literally it says 76%, but there's Vamsi Mohan for like B of A6 is some sort of a firm name. But I'm sure there's more data around it, right? There's so much of it. You can always sort it as Daniel Ives. So I don't know. Yeah, this guy. So he has the most confidence because his price target is highest. Now again, this is a smart score, but the smart score could be different than the price target. So interesting way to look at it. And again, needless to say that you can change the column names in the widget and all that. Those are all basic customizations. All right. So yeah, super cool tool to leverage. If you already use OpenBB, even if you don't, this is free. Feel free to use it. Does you no harm. You can think of it from a learning perspective. However, I definitely think that these kind of tools will become more deeply integrated into the tool chains that we use these days. And this will become the norm in couple of years, if not months, because most of other industries are adopting it. So there's no reason literally why finance has to stay behind. All right. So yeah, that's it from this video. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button and click like and share and put in a comment maybe. All right. Thank you.